færdig.
Ja, det kniver jo lidt med at komme igennem.
Det er det eneste sted, det kan stå, hvis vi ikke vil stille det på højkant.
5 months ago, I began researching women in Danish design for my history thesis. Although the Danish Royal Academy began accepting women from 1888, it was only the wealthy that could afford to attend. The tuition fee cost more for women than men. Despite this, in 1895, Copenhagen would showcase a women's exhibition, which was actually the first ever exhibition in Europe for female artisans. The idea for a women's exhibition came originally from the United States, from the 1893 Chicago World Fair. There was a Danish loan exhibition in the Women's Building to showcase women's arts and handicrafts from around the world. Arranging the exhibition had been chaotic, as the all-male delegation committee protested against having women's work exhibited until Queen Louise expressed her disapproval and her support of the exhibition. So Sophie Oxholm, a noblewoman, was quickly put in charge of delivering the exhibition. The lack of planning was unfortunately evident. While one Danish journalist praised the embroidery displays, the tacky inclusion of Danish costume dolls in a temperance exhibition was heavily criticized.
In the United States, the same women that had crusaded for equal rights had for years championed another cause, prohibition. In 1874, the many women's societies pledged to temperance had joined forces in the Women's Christian Temperance Union.
The temperance movement was a movement to ban alcohol, and beer has been a part of Danish culture for over 5,000 years. So it's not hard to guess why this would have been seen as a faux pas. Sophie went back to Denmark, inspired to create a more thorough exhibition of Nordic women's work in Copenhagen. However, like the World Fair's exhibition, the delegation and committee management was chaotic. There were budgetary and venue issues. There were also disagreements over how political the exhibition should be, in support of women's rights or strictly apolitical. Eventually, Sophie was forced to step down, and Emma Gadd, a famous writer, was placed in charge of planning the exhibition, with Bertha Buck as the new president. The first of its kind in Europe, the Copenhagen Women's Exhibition, opened in 1895 after 2 years of planning and with the support again of Queen Louise. It was critically reviewed as a success, with one journalist stating, "There is in itself no difference between a chair or lock made by a man or a woman. The interesting thing about a chair or the lock at the women's exhibition is really only that it shows that women have also broken a career path in the fields of handicrafts." There were multiple women featured in the displays. One of them was Suzette Holten, who was the artistic leader for the exhibition and also designed the furniture pieces showcased here. Like the other women behind the exhibition, she was wealthy and born into a family of artists. Her father was the painter P.C. Skovgaard. This is the only furniture she would design in her art career. It is now installed at the Anna Anker's house in Skagen. Catherine Horsbull was another woman who exhibited. She was one of the first women ever to be educated in Denmark as a carpenter and cabinet maker. Despite this, we have very little archival images or material regarding her history. Many of the exhibitions featured appear to focus on historically female domains, especially with the interior styling of the departments or displays. Many of the archival photos show schoolrooms, kitchens, or dining spaces. This pleased many of the visitors. One journalist recalled, "The exhibition is varied and rich. There are many of its departments in which one likes to dwell in because they are real characteristics of female taste, female diligence, and female skill." With the extra tuition costs in the background of the women designing during this time period, we can deduce that the 1890s female furniture designer was seen as more of a hobbyist and an artist, rather than a self-supporting woman. While lower-class women had to work to support their families, choosing to have a profession as a wealthy woman was different, as men still carried the breadwinner role. Despite this, the 1895 exhibition clearly broke gender barriers, as evidenced in the comments by journalists. Yet, without the strong patronage of the Danish Queen Louise, it is likely that this exhibition, or the one at the 1893 World Fair, would have never happened. This demonstrates the struggle the women of the time period faced to have their work publicly exhibited. These days, although women now make up the majority of furniture designers in Denmark, historical curation, recognition, and documentation of women's work is still lacking. Svava Riesto at Copenhagen University has been researching Danish women in architecture since 2020, and there's a whole website that you can check out to follow and learn more. I can't stress how little information exists on this topic, so I would like to extend a warm thank you to Valdemar and Mette on Instagram, who both went out of their way to help me find archival and secondary resources on this early part of women's history. Thank you.